Hey everybody, it's Lon Seidman with a Dad Pro Tip review today of an enormous iPad case from Fisher-Price. This is the Laugh and Learn Apptivity Creation Center. So it's a big, long name for a very big iPad case. Now what this does is it works with both the first, second, and third generation iPads. I don't think it fits the mini, so it's the bigger ones only. But this is the first gen. It slips in quite nicely. There's this Drool and spit-up proof container that goes over the front of it. So it slips right in there. And this is the iPad 1, the original one here. So you can see that fits. And I'll put in my iPad 3. The iPad 2 through 4 are all about the same form factor. So if you are watching this in the future, you may not be able to fit your iPad in here, so just be aware of that. This thing closes in on it, and it is very tight. You can hear it snap shut very firmly. And you just want to make sure that when you do close this thing out that your little one's fingers aren't getting caught in here, because this thing, when it catches, it really catches. So I think you should just probably put it together without the child in your presence just to be safe, or have them safely away. So what is nice is that your touchscreen is fully accessible, which is kind of a neat thing to have when it's behind this Drool-proof container here. And what we're going to do is load up one of the apps here. Now there's a QR code that they put inside this thing, and it doesn't, oops, there goes the app, it's loading up. It doesn't work, so you have to kind of poke around on the iPad store, the App Store, to try to find the apps that are compatible with it. It wasn't too hard to find, but I only found one of the two that they say work with it. So hopefully by the time you're watching this, they've fixed that problem, but right now you're going to have to hunt around a little bit for the compatible apps. Now, why these apps are important is that there are some little shapes here that also come with this thing, and you can kind of store them here. They don't stick in here, so it's, you can carry it around a little bit with these things in there, but they will pop out relatively easily. I did manage to carry this down to my studio from upstairs without having them pop out, but I wouldn't really rely on this thing as really holding these things in. So these probably will escape and get lost. But when you load up the app, this is one of the Apptivity Creation Center apps that you'll find on the store. You can just click there, get some laughs, and there's like 3 different activities that go on. And what's cool is that when you take out the shape, so if I touch this here, hopefully, there we go, I matched the right shape up. And actually, each one of these shapes has a different little pattern of things that will work with the iPad screen. So it's able to detect what shape is touching it. So if I think there's more of an open world one here. And if I just stamp this here, I get the blue triangle, and I can put the red square here. I'm going to get a little picture here of our blue triangle at work. Let's let that go for a second here. And then if I take the red square out, it'll do that. So kind of a neat thing that, it's a good way to introduce your kids to shapes if you're not too concerned about them having screen time. And again, each one of these things has a little bit of a different pattern that the app looks for when you touch it to the screen. So kind of neat there. Now, when you're done with screen time, you've got another option here as well. And by the way, this thing is really heavy. There is another little unit on the back here, and you can hear those pieces just fell out. That you can put over the screen so they can have a more tactile experience. Now, this purple thing here is a stand, and I would suggest again that when you set this thing up, you do it outside of the presence of your kids, because it will also snap shut. And I got my finger caught in something before, and it kind of hurt. So just be really careful with that. So this thing's on the bottom here. I can pop this out, and you take it out like this. You fold it down here, and you can see all my pieces are popping out. And you can just basically insert this thing onto the top of it, and now they've got a more tactile thing. This might be better actually for a younger child. They rate this this toy for 9 months and up, and my little one is only about 5 months right now, so she really couldn't grasp these things yet because they're a little too big for her hands. But this thing will work great for her, so she can kind of play with this initially. And again, if you're really concerned about too much screen time, you can have them work with the shapes on something a little bit more tactile. So that is the Fisher-Price Laugh and Learn Apptivity Center. It is a very heavy and rugged unit. I think it'll survive whatever your child has to throw at it or can throw at it. It protects your iPad really nicely, so that is a good feature as well. And it's a great way to really kind of ease them into things and also kind of break up that screen time with shape-based exercises that don't rely on the iPad also. So, I think it's worth looking at. I'm a little bit disappointed that the apps are so hard to find. Hopefully they fix that barcode, the link that barcode goes to, so that you can find the apps more easily. But beyond that, I think it's a neat little toy. This is Lon Seidman with a Dad Pro Tip. If you have questions, leave them in the comments, and I will be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching.